Right, bit of a fun one here for going in gold. I'm going to try and hit one of my old school commander combos. As for you many have seen, I have a split deck that I play in Commander where it's all split cards and just Niv-Mizzet, so that's what we're going to play in Historic Best of 1. So, obviously we have our Niv-Mizzets, then we just have a slew of other cards that I randomly just had crafted. So, the main thing we want to do is we want to have a Niv-Mizzet on the field, and then we want to cast our copy here of Onward to Victory, which will turn Niv into a 12-6 double striker. So that's our goal to finish for Niv. Apart from that, I mean, I've got to just let the deck list talk for itself. We have interaction, we have little token generators like these Fopters here. We can also create we can make elves. But yeah, we don't have much of a chance. We also have my other favorite card, Revival Revenge. We'll try and double our life total at some point if we get lucky. But this is what we're going to do just for this going in gold for the sake of time, because I'm a bit strapped for things here. You see no sideboard. Best of 1, split cards. Can we do it? Alright, enjoy. Alright, gold digging. Can we split it? First opponent here is Fire Kid. There's not going to be a huge amount of technicality in this, I think. So, this opening hand has everything but a green. In hindsight, I reckon I must have screwed up with the greens in this deck. Opponent starts with a tap land. It appears they're on some kind of Gruul list. We'll throw down a Triome. I'm assuming that the 1-for-1 matcher is going to give us some strange matchups, because our deck here is very weird. So they start with a Caryatid, so let's kill that immediately with a Bedeck, just in case they've got anything crazy. Opponent up to 3 mana, plays another Caryatid. Let's just play a land here, and I'm going to hold up the reduce. If they're rampant to something, I'm going to assume they don't have 3 extra to pay for it. They go for an Ogre Battle Driver, so let's reduce that. 3 mana for a mana leak, very mana leak, that makes me nostalgic for old school commander, old school modern. We're up to 4 lands here, so we still need a green. Opponent's got a Maze Crusher here. Now, the thing is, they could pump this to save it. We've got to see if they attack with a Caryatid, which they do. So they only have 1 mana here, so bearing that they don't have anything insane, they're not going to save the Maze Crusher. They could remove, if they had 2 mana, 2 oil counters to give it +2/+2. We draw another land. We still are missing green, so we can't go straight to a Niv yet. But now we can ping with Carnival. Or we could go for the Carnage, which I think is a better play here, force them to discard, limit their options. We're happy to take a few more little pings here. If push comes to shove, we could trade them with some Fopters using Deploy. Or we could use the tap down to draw another card here. We could stop them from getting lands. So I'm just going to pass here. We've got plenty of options available. Our opponent plays Colossal Growth kicked, so in response I think we just got to tap this creature down, draw a card and prevent them from attacking. They appear to be some kind of Gruul aggro list, budget. We tap down, we draw a Thrash and Threaten, still no green. We'll go to the end step here and just see if we can draw. Nope, we get a struggle. So we still got plenty of answers to everything that could happen here, so we'll just pass back. Kind of getting stuck on our lands here. Opponent's going to go in for 1 here. We'll go to the end step and we will use Consecrate here to take out the Maze Crusher. And we find our green source finally. That split card used to be my answer to Uro, if anyone remembers, when it was in the format. I'm going to go with Niv here. We could have gone with Assemble to get some 2/2s, but you know, we're here for a reason. Let's see if we can hit it. Our opponents, yes, we do hit it, so we could go for it next. Let's just see what our opponent does. They respond with a Cosmic Hunter. I suspect they're clearing dailies here, which makes me feel kind of bad. Although to be fair, we're not exactly playing a tier list, so I shouldn't feel bad. We're just playing... we're kind of split on what we're playing, I guess you could say. Opponent drops a land, gains a life, they go up to 19. So we can play a land here, so it's just time to go for it, I think. So onward. Pumps Niv to a 12-6, and then victory gives him double strike, and we game one. Well, there's only one game of each, but we hit our agenda and hit the perfect answer. Now let's see how if we can do it in any other matches for fun and get some more sample sizes here. We'll mulligan here. We get 3 lands, so we'll keep this. Again, we're struggling for green, so we'll get rid of the green split card. Pass back. Put down a Triome. Opponent opens with a mountain into a goblin, so this is either a burn or a goblin deck, or time we'll find out. We're going to play Clifftop Retreat here because we can Bedeck, Bedazzle, anything scary they play on 2. If this is goblins or burn, we'll turn out in the next few turns. Opponent runs out of Battlecry Goblin, answering our question, so this is clearly goblin, so we'll take out the Battlecry. Yeah, goblins can go crazy, particularly if they're a Muxus deck. We are playing in Historic, just for fun. Because Explorer is currently in the best of 1 queue, apparently, and from my testing, full of nothing but the Quintorius combo decks, so it's just better to just play here in Historic. Right. They make Krenko's command, getting them 2 goblins, so we will consecrate the Battlecry Goblin to try and hit our 4th land drop. We desperately need something for Niv though here. Passing back to our opponent. They play a Hobgoblin Bandit Lord, so another Lord here. So we're going to have to intervention. Yep, just kill that. Buy us some time looking for this 5th land. We don't find it, but we still have removal, so we'll hold on to it. We can again go for the FOP to block if we have to. But I am very concerned that we are very close to Muxus mana here. Opponent plays an Ogre Battle Driver. I go for the struggle here. In hindsight, I probably should have gone for FOP to block into struggle next turn. But I was playing for the assumption that I would draw the land for Niv. Incubate only sadly finds us creatures, so there's no point playing it. We can use it as an exile effect for anything too scary. Opponent plays a Hulking Bugbear. They swing in, so I'm going to use Deploy now here. Block 2 of their creatures, gain 2 life. We go down to 12. We find the Onward, we just needed the land. See what our opponent does for 4 mana. They play a Goblin Gathering, so they're getting more Goblin tokens. Right, we can use Statue to destroy the 3/3. We're on 11. We find our 5th land, but sadly it's tapped. I double check that this thing can't like make me a token somehow, but sadly it's not going to. Play a land, and they have Battlecry Goblin here, which is the worst thing they could have here, because they have enough mana to do the pump effect. So we can Integrity here, take out the Battlecry Goblin. We'll still be taking 6 here. So we are very close to dead, and they're very close to Muxus. So we've got to just, I think, play Niv-Mizzet and hope for the best here.
Reload.
If we can survive until our next turn, we will have the Onward to Victory plan. We can take Reduced, Thrash, there's all these things we have. We just have to get through this turn. Spoiler alert, we don't get through it. In fact, if I'm honest here, our opponent has a bit of BM for us. So we can block here. They shock when they could kill us with a shock here, but they're just flexing to show that they had us dead from every perceivable action here. In reality, they could have just done either of those things and won. So we'll go into our next game here. And this is where it unravels. Yes, the middle of this video was a struggle. So our opponent here is a blue-black toxic deck. We got plenty of answers for their creatures here. We can bounce stuff. So I decided to bounce the Belly Rat. They gambit us here, so I'm just going to... well, I'm going to start with the Consign to tap. They draw 2 cards. We go back to our turn, play a land tapped, pass the turn. I decided to bounce their rat here because I'm pretty sure they'll probably have counter magic. However, that's a huge mistake because they resolve the Archmage, although I have no reaction to it. And Tasha is not balanced in Explorer unless you are playing big ass creatures or Pacific Planeswalker removal. Spoiler, we're playing neither because you see her +1 is terribly designed because it gives permanent -1/-1 counters. So obviously it's great for a proliferate deck, which is what this is, toxic proliferate. But yeah, Tasha is a card that I'm just not a fan of its redesign. The funny thing is though, we only have a playset of Nivs in our deck, so what will happen is they'll take 3 of our Nivs here, and then we can just mill half our deck basically. So I look at my options here and I decide I'm going to concoct and take their rat. Then I'll see if I can find one of my Nivs off the top. I can't attack in because Tasha's +1 is like more heinous than fucking anything I've ever seen. They have a Sim Snare to bounce their rat to get it back, redeploy it. They can ultimate Tasha here. It's not a big deal, like I said. We shuffle basically everything of ours in, and we do have our Struggle to Survive in the graveyard. They find a Venser. Ideally, the thing here would be if we could actually get through and kill this Tasha. Fortunately though, we're going to have to kill the Niv here, get it back into our deck. We'll use Finish to get rid of that. And I choose Survive here to shuffle graveyards and get it back in. Then I'll pass back. Problem is though, we're pretty much dead here because they just need to get 1 toxic, and with all the proliferate that they've put in recently, we'll pretty much lose. As you see here, they're running every proliferate spell from the recent sets, so we are very unlikely to do anything here. And that Tasha ability means we can't attack. I'm going to give it time here until I basically am going to get a poison counter. Maybe give me a chance here. Now I think I can survive this, because I'm thinking to myself, if they swing in, what can I do to stop this? I forget Venser also has Toxic. They have a Cthulhu, so now they're double proliferate, so we're pretty much dead if we get a single Toxic counter. See how they attack here, they go all in. And sadly we can't do what I wanted to do, so I'll use Response here to kill the creature. We can't cast Struggle though because we don't have another red, so we can't get that in. They also have enough means to just give us Toxic, so we'll just concede here, save some time. Basically resolving that Tasha won them that match. Yeah, there's not multicolored Planeswalker removal. There probably will be soon, hopefully. Right, I learned my lesson, so I'm going to keep mulliganing until I find a good enough lands. Fortunately, this is terrible, so I'm going to keep what I can. Now I'm going to get rid of Niv and the Thrash here. I'm going to get rid of 2 cards, and I'm going to go with what I can theoretically cast. So I have everything but green. So let's just play a tower here. Opponent starts with blue-red. Now into an island. We hit our next land, which is good, so we'll play another tap land while our opponent's got nothing on the field. They consider. Play a Storm Crows and a Scalding Vapor, which is lethal to us because of its ability to ping us every time we do cast a spell. So we'll take that out immediately. Flower is great, it will get us the green mana that we are desperately needing, so we'll grab the green here. Goes to our opponent's turn. Play Mountain, and they play Ojira the creature that gives any basically gives all their burn +3/+3. So we immediately bounce that because we do not want them untapping and casting 4 ping spells for 4 damage each. They play their 5th land and then look at the fact that we're running all split cards, and I have no idea if they're just like, oh, this isn't tier, I'm not interested, because they just concede. But if you want tier, mate, go play in best of 3 rank, not best of 1 casual. Final match here, we are 2-2. Can we make it a positive record in best of 1? We start with a Jetmir's Garden. Opponent is on black, so it could be a discard deck or any manner of things, so we'll just see what happens. Drops a 3rd land, plays a veto, so it's either mono black vampires or life gain combo, so we'll see how things go from here. Again, we have a consign if we get a bit scared. Opponent swings in. I'm going to use response here to kill it with 5 damage. They take no action, which is interesting. So we'll deploy another tribe land here. We want to get Niv on curve if we can. I don't think we'll resolve a Niv. Oh, Sanguine Bond comes down, so this is a combo deck. They're looking to use Veto and Sanguine Bonds to win the match. Let's bounce that back to the hand because that's a good investment for time. Let's play our land and run out Niv. I will take Revival Revenge to double our life and Statue to kill the Sanguine Bonds if they redeploy it. We'll see where things go from here. Opponent is reading our cards probably. They're not familiar. Please excuse the coughing. It's winter, so we're all going to have sniffles and coughs for a while. I'm actually going to let this pass. I'm going to wait till they try to trigger a combo. So we just swing in with Niv here. We can use the Invert to tutor up the cards to finish them off if they don't do anything. And they cast another Sanguine Bonds, which is pretty good for us. So in response, let's invent. Grab ourselves our Onward to Victory. And we'll also grab a Colossal Collision. What is it? Collision Colossus. That way we can just pump Niv to something silly. We don't need to do the double strike trick. So let's give Niv +4/+2. Then give him +X. So he's a 20/08. And then we'll swing in for lethal. So yeah, we went 3-2 with split cards in best of 1. Hope you enjoyed the video. It was wacky and fun and we hit the gold target.